Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we'll learn what is Gauss law. As you all know, Gauss law is given as the net electric flux cutting across a surface is equal to the charge enclosed within that surface divided by epsilon naught. What does this really mean? Let's try to break it down one by one. So starting with this term, electric flux. So let's just consider a positive charge in space. So as you all know, it is going to put out electric field in all the directions. That is, the electric field lines from a positive charge will be radially outwards. In the same way, if it is a negative charge, the field lines will be radially inwards. Okay. Now, in this case, say suppose if I consider an area here, okay, like a surface, like a window or some like flat surface, okay, of some area. Now, how much of these field lines do exactly cross from this area? So that is flux, or net flow of the field lines through that area is flux. Not very clear. Let's try to understand with the help of an example. So consider the electric field lines to be these people. Okay, so let's say we have a positive charge here and these people are clustered up like this and they are holding their hands and they are clustered up. Okay, so the field lines will start from this positive charge and they will be going far away like this. So just like these people, so they are going far away, still they are holding their hands, but as you can see, at some point they have to release their hands and they have to move away from each other. Consider these two people. So initially they were holding their hands and now they have to go further, so they have to release and they have to go away. So this is what happens in case of electric field lines also. So initially when they are together like this, they'll be very strong, right? They'll be well bonded and strong, but as they go away from each other, their bond becomes weaker and weaker. See, and now each one of them becomes more vulnerable. For example, these two people, they have walked far away from each other. That means now each one of them is vulnerable, right? Someone can come and just attack this person like this. Okay, so that is what happens in case of field lines. So just when they start, they will be strong because the lines will be crowded at that point, but as they go far away from each other, the field lines becomes weak. Now flux means, consider these people are here initially, they are at the source and they are moving away from each other. Okay, now if I put some area, some door like thing here, okay, so initially they are very close, right? So if I put a door here, so as you can see, some if they are walking away from each other, three people are crossing across this door, so that is flux. So flux basically tells you the amount of field lines cutting across an area. So in the same way here, if these people have walked far away from each other, so they are well separated. So consider these two people, so they are walked so far that they are separated. Now if you take this area and put it here, as you can see, only one of the person is crossing across this door. That means the electric field flow or the flux will reduce as you go far and far. That means initially they are crowded, so more number of people will pass, but as they get far and far through that same area, only fewer lines will pass or fewer people will pass. So that is the idea of flux. Now that you have an understanding of the flux, let's try to decode its equation. So electric flux, as you know, it's given as electric field times area. Okay, so consider two cases. One is 2 microcoulomb charge placed and it is going to put out field lines, and another is 10 microcoulomb. Now as you can see, I've drawn more field lines here because you know this equation that electric field is equal to K times Q by R square, which means that the electric field is directly proportional to the charge. So here, since it is 2 microcoulomb, electric field won't be that strong. At any point if you take, it won't be that strong as this 10 microcoulomb. So I'm drawing more number of field lines here and less number of field lines here. Okay, now that being said, here if I consider an area like this, so as you can see, there's only one field line crossing across the area, but the same area if I consider here, so as it is clear that there is more number of, that is 3 field lines are going, more number of field lines are going, which means that the electric flux should be proportional to electric field or electric field intensity at a point, because if the electric field strength is more, then there will be more number of field lines going across that area. And also, say you consider an area like this, A1, as you can see, only 3 field lines are cutting across that area. But if I consider a bigger area, A2, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field lines cutting across the area, which means that the as you increase the area which you consider, the flux also increases, or the flow of the electric field lines also increases. So that is why the electric flux is proportional to the area. So now that you know about this equation, yes, as you have noticed, I am missing a term here, that is cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field and area. So let's understand why there is a cos theta term in this equation. So consider there's an area AB here and electric field lines are coming like this. So as you see, the entire electric field lines, that is 1 2 3 4 5 field lines are cutting across this area. But what if you slightly shift this area like this, that is instead of holding it straight like this, what if you hold it at some angle? So as you can see that only 4 of the field lines will cut across the area. This one field line just misses out, right? That means, like, if I'm considering more and more field lines, so here the entire field lines will be crossing across this area if you hold it like this, but at some angle the field lines crossing across the area will get reduced. Some of the field lines won't pass through that area. So that means here I can consider a length A dash B dash like this. Okay, so instead of considering this entire area like this, I'll consider an area of length this much, A dash B dash. So this will be the effective area. So as you can see, the entire field lines will be cutting across that effective area. Now here in this term cos theta, theta is the angle between E and A. As you know, electric field is a vector and it is going to have some direction. So in this case it is in this direction. But what about this term area? As you know, area isn't a vector, right? Area doesn't have any direction. So how can you tell it is the angle between electric field and area? That means we need to define a vector with area, or we have to tell a direction for an area. So as per convection, the areas are given a vector as a normal vector. That means consider if I'm taking this surface, then the normal vector or the area vector should be like this, perpendicular to that surface. Or if I'm taking this surface, then it should be like this, perpendicular to that surface and radially outwards. So if I'm taking this surface like this, if I'm taking this surface like this. So if I consider any random surface like this, the area vector should be perpendicular to that point. Like if I consider this point, the area vector should be like this, radially outwards. If I consider this point, it should be like this. If it is this, like this. If it is some point here, then it should be like this. So that is a concept of area vector or normal vector. We can call this as n cap also. So here, if I'm drawing the area vector, it should be normal. So this is the surface, so it should be normal to the surface like this. So this is the area vector. And as you can see, the electric field and the area vector makes an angle of 0 degree in this case. But in this case, if this is the surface, the area vector should be perpendicular to that surface, which means it has to be like this. And electric field, as you see, it is going like this. So I'll just extend this field like this. So here, therefore these two, this is the electric field. So therefore these two makes an angle of theta here. Now as you see, between this electric field and area vector, it is making some angle theta, whereas here it was 0. Now doing a little bit of simplification here, say suppose if I connect these like this. So if this is theta, here as you can see, this whole thing will be 90 because this area vector is perpendicular to the surface. So this angle will be 90 minus theta. So this angle would be theta because here it is 90. Now if this is theta, if I take this length, that is this area's length, this length, I'll call this entire length as L. So if this is L, then as you know, if this is theta, this length becomes L cos theta. So this is same as this one, right? So this entire length becomes L cos theta. So if I draw out this area, so this is going to be like this. And as you can see, this is L and let this be breadth B, this one. So area here, you will get it as L into B. But if I consider this area, that is the effective area. So here, as you see, the breadth will remain the same. The breadth is same, but the length is decreased. So here, this was L. Now it is only L cos theta. So that is why area here will be again length into breadth because it's a rectangle. So this will be LB cos theta, which means the area is, the new area becomes, or the effective area becomes, this L into B is the initial area, area times cos theta. So that is why we have this term of cos theta here. It's just that the orientation of the area to the electric field matters. So that is why we have a term of cos theta. So here, since the area and the electric field are not making any angle, so so theta will become 0, so you will be just getting E into A. But if it is at some angle, then the effective field lines cutting will be decreased. Hence, there is a reduction of the area, and you can call this entire area as effective area. So that means if the area is held like this, that is, if the area vector and the electric field makes a 0 degree, then the entire field lines will pass through that area. But if it is at some angle, the area is held at some angle, then the field lines will be passing through only the effective area. So that is why we need to consider this term, A cos theta. So I hope you got a clear understanding of the flux and the flux equation. Now let's get back to the Gauss law. So here, consider a positive charge and it is putting out the electric field radially outwards. Now if I want to consider a surface through which all these field lines will be cutting, so the best surface would be a sphere, because of its symmetry would be surrounding that charge, so that all the field lines would be cutting across its surface like this. And also one more advantage is the electric field. So consider the electric field here. So the electric field and the area vector, that is, if I consider this point, the area vector will be perpendicular to that surface, so area vector. So here, as you can see, electric field and area vector will be making a 0 degree angle, which means at all the point this will happen. So that is why we need to consider a sphere, and this surface which you consider is called the Gaussian surface. Now if some of you have a problem in considering a sphere, why not consider some other shape? Okay, I'll tell you why. Say consider a cylinder, for example, like this. Okay, and as you can see, if I consider this electric field at this point is going in this direction, and if I draw an area vector to this surface, area vector should be in this way. So as you can see, there will be a random angle between the electric field and the area vector, so it will be little difficult to solve. And also the value of electric field will be different at different points because they are at a different distances from the charge. And also because of this issue that here it is making an angle of theta, but in this case, as you can see, the electric field is in this direction and the area vector also for this surface will be like this, so angle will be 0. So some will be making a 0 degree angle, some will be making a different angles. So that is why we have to consider some symmetric shape. So the best symmetric shape would be a sphere. And also, as you can see, all these points are at a same distance from the center or from the charge. That means the electric field values will be same at all these points. So that therefore the sphere is a best Gaussian surface in this case to find the total electric flux. Now let's derive Gauss law. So in this case, if I write the expression for the net flux, net electric or total electric flux cutting across the surface, so that will be equal to EA cos theta, or if you want you can write it as E dot A, that is the dot product of electric field and area vector. So here, as you see, the electric field value will be same at all the points, so E times, and also the electric field due to the charge I can write, so this is a positive charge, and as you know, electric field equation should be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q times the charge times divided by the distance. So distance should be the radius of the sphere, so this distance r square, and area will be this area, right, the area of the entire sphere, so that is the surface area, so that is going to be 4 pi r square. And here, as I've told, the electric field and the area vector will be making an angle of 0 degrees, so cos 0 will be 1. So from this, if you cancel out this, you will get Q by epsilon naught. So the net flux or the total electric flux across the surface is equal to Q by epsilon naught. And one thing to observe is it doesn't depend on the radius. So here it doesn't matter if I consider a Gaussian surface of radius r, or a Gaussian surface of some capital R, or some Gaussian surface of some x radius. for all these cases the total flux cutting across will be same. Right, that's a straightforward idea that if you have a positive charge, say suppose some 10 field lines are coming, so all the 10 field lines will be cutting across this surface, all the 10 will be cutting across this surface, all the 10 will be cutting across this surface. So that's how you get this.